I'm Anushka from MissMalini, and today I'm at Mandira Bedi's store. She's standing right next to me, and we're going to learn a really important lesson from her. But before I tell you what that is, I have a few questions for you.
Go for it.
When was the first time you ever wore a sari?
It was probably the most embarrassing time of my life. I was about 13 or 14 years old maybe.
Okay.
And I went for a cousin's wedding to Delhi. I was wearing a mirror work, you know those mirror work, Rajasthani mirror work blouses. My mom helped me wear the sari. I left for the wedding, and as I got out of the car, I stepped on my pleats. All the pleats were on the floor, and I was, I think, scarred for life. I swore I'd never wear a sari again after that. I said, there are many different things that I can wear, and saris are not going to be on that list.
So I was going to ask you, my next question was, who taught you how to wear a sari? So that would be your mom.
When I started acting, it was Shanti. I started wearing salwar kameezes to begin with, and I enjoyed the few times I did get to wear a sari, and I used to get a nice response from people. You look very Indian and nice in a sari. And I have big hips, so carrying off big hips, big hips work for a sari.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought that was the ideal garment around them, but I learned on the job. I used to first get help from a hairdresser who, put the pins in the right places and pull it at the right amount to give that right shape on the side, all of that. So I learned that from, I guess, a hairdresser. So sorry, mom, it wasn't you.
So I was going to also ask you if you'd ever made a faux pas when you wore a sari, but I guess you already answered that
question. Was the biggest faux pas. I realized after that, if you don't use safety pins, there are lots of lovely, very elegant ladies who are sari wearers who don't use a single safety pin, and good for them. And I say hats off to them. But for me, I need a few safety pins in appropriate places, so I can feel absolutely comfortable and hands-free. I did a commercial. I was thinking about it just the other day. I met the director. We were talking about it. I played a mom running after a little kid with breakfast.
Okay.
And you know how this story of running after breakfast is a thing for all moms. And this was the time when saris were worn by advertising moms, right? So they made me wear a sari, and they made me run through the streets of Bombay.
Oh my God.
I think that was my trial by fire. After that, if I've run in a sari,
you can do anything.
I can do anything. I really can actually run a race in a sari now.
Wow.
Yeah, provided I'm wearing the right shoes.
Did you always know you were going to get into this designing and everything?
Never, not at all.
You've done a lot.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't know where you were and what you were doing in 2003, but 2003 is when I started doing cricket, the World Cup, and I was wearing just regular old clothes for the rest of the games, but for every India match I'd wear a sari with a little spaghetti strap, noodle strap blouse, and that somehow people started associating me with a sari. So post that, when I started hosting events, even on these reality shows that I hosted on television, rather than asking for me to wear a gown, people would request that I wear a sari. So I've worn every designer. I've worn every kind of sari, right from cotton saris to net to silk to... I've worn a sari of every fabric and every weight. So I just became very closely connected to the sari. And a couple of 2.5 years ago, just on a lark, I bought some fabric and I put it together, and I created my first sari, and I actually wore them for some Diwali parties, and people saw them and said, "Who are you wearing?" And I said, "I'm wearing me." I think that gave me a little bit of confidence to, my husband sort of enrolled me in these exhibitions, 2 exhibitions, which were sellouts. And that's what gave me the confidence to open the store. And that's how we're here today.
So you would be the right person to talk to about how to wear a sari, right?
Well, now it's been a while. It's been a while since that awkward, clumsy 14-year-old girl got out of her car and tripped on her pleats, and they were all on the floor, and she looked at Mama and said, "Mama, I don't want to wear a sari again." So I've come some way since then.
She's just being modest. She's amazing at wearing a sari.
Well, you know something, the way that hairdressers actually tie a sari, I don't know how to do that. I just do a version that's comfortable for me, and the tricks that I know and the strategic places that I know where to put a safety pin, they work for me.
Yeah.
I hope they work for whoever watches.
I'm sure they will, and I can't wait to learn these tricks from you.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave you to it, and I'm going to stand right there and watch you do this.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's get to it. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe.